last week's vlog I talked about balance. It's something that you need to find in your life, no doubt about that. But I also had a great week of catching up on stuff while I was thinking about the balance and taking this in. And due to the fact that I got so much done last week, kind of stuff that is that kind of puts me a little bit ahead of the schedule. And the reason why I wanted to do that was so I would have a little bit more time to focus on other things. Obviously the music itself is always a big part of it, and I have to find the time to make that. There's a few renovation projects coming along again, and there's a few other little projects and trips coming along, so I really have to make the effort to find the time to create the music, which I don't mind. That's part of the process, that's part of life. And when you live somewhere like we live right now, it can be one never-ending project, which I was always fully aware of that, and I was signing myself up for that because that's what I enjoy, and the lifestyle here is so different, and trust me, that is one thing that I really, really enjoy is is different lifestyle here. Do I have everything? Yes, I do. Lots of crap. But I also have to, because of that, I have to make a conscious decision of make time for making music. And today is one of those days when I want to get ahead of the game with the songs a little bit. So today we're in the studio. When I start a new day here in the studio, there's a couple of funny little tiny rituals that I have to kind of do. Obviously, first thing is because I usually have my computer, because it's a laptop, I keep it in the house normally, and because music is valuable to me, that is stored in there. So I bring the computer here, connect everything, set up everything. I have to make sure I have a good cup of coffee, and my good friend Darvagarun, he got me into this homemade incense. So I'm usually I burn a little bit of sage here because it's cleanse the energy before you start a project, and because there's also lately there's been other people doing stuff here as well, like Natalie's sister, and Natalie started the podcast and they've been recording here, and it's good to clean the energy and kind of have a spiritually flat, energetically spiritually flat ground to start from. And I put a little bit of lately I've been putting a bit of cloves into my mix as well. I kind of like the smell of them, and they do keep the occasional bug away from here as well. And then I'm ready to start on the music. Okay, a bit of a situation update. Kevin's here. He's working on the terrace in the front, or the veranda. But what he's doing today is like real kind of skilled stuff, so I can't really even help him even if I wanted to. I'd just be on the way. So I've been working on the song. I've went once again with the 12 string. I'm getting in the habit of I swear by picks for all my life, but like for some reason in the last several songs I've been using a lot more of my fingers, not even finger pick, but even strumming just hands, and I find it interesting, the results. So I shall keep on experimenting on that. And also I would do the tapping pad thing again that I did on one of the earlier songs. It's pretty cool. It's like you tap with your fretting finger on the chords, and then you drive the 12 string through a guitar amp, and it gives it just a tiny bit of sustain and tiny bit of growl, and it just gives you really nice sounding pads that are kind of organic rather than like I've no problem using synths, especially like analog synths. I've great fun with them, but I'm not an expert at them by any such of imagination. If I have to come up with a weird sound that I like, it's quicker for me to do it on the guitar, and that's why I tried to mess around with the guitars. So then I've done a lot of layering of vocals, and now I just have to think about the dynamic changes of the song. So that's where I shall move on to next. Okay, a bit of an update on how the studio day's been going. It's been a little bit of a frustrating day, but you get them, that's just the way it is. Basically, I had a new song, I really liked the lyrics of it, I started working on the music of it, I had an idea, I went with it. I recorded a 12-string guitar, some pads on the 12-string guitar, I recorded a ton of different vocals, like probably about 10 different tracks of vocals, and then I came to the conclusion that I didn't really like it at all. Not the lyrics, it's just the melody line wasn't really doing it for me. The rhythm wasn't right, the tempo wasn't right. Then the good old question came that if you imagine playing that song live, what would it sound like? And so I pick up the 6-string Martin, and I played it live. I recorded the guitar and the voice. Now that's not always ideal for mixing, but I recorded live, and it felt much better. Slowed it down, changed the melody line quite a bit. It kind of came from that idea of if I was singing it live to somebody, what would it sound like in that moment? And it sounded so much better. And so then I had to go back and redo the guitar and redo the vocals separately so that I can mix it properly. You see, for those of you who don't know, like if I record the guitar here, I have a vocal microphone here. The guitar microphones pick up my vocal, and the vocal microphone pick up the guitar. And especially vocals, you put a fair bit of compression on it, so the guitar becomes even more drawn out, and you start hearing more of the guitar from this microphone than you do from these close-up microphones. So, as much as I prefer to record everything live here right now, most of the time, if I want to do any kind of production or improvement of the sound or anything more detailed stuff, it just doesn't work. I have to record them separately. That is the fact of life, and that's pretty much what you have to do in most studios these days if you want to separate them somehow. You know, if I was relying on the pickup more, that would be possible, but I don't really like doing that because I like the acoustic sound, and I really like the sound of these two microphones, these Octavias, which are very, very sensitive as well, so they pick up then everything else in the room as well. So yeah, it's an interesting situation, but yeah, what I have now, and it's just the acoustic guitar and the voice, sounds so much better. It is 5:20. I'm gonna leave the song be tonight. I'm gonna sleep on it, and I'm gonna have a listen to it again, maybe later on tonight, but definitely tomorrow, and then I see what does it feel. Does it feel like it needs something more? It probably will need something more anyway, but does it need a big production, or will I just, because like there's a few songs that came out now back to back that did have a fair bit of production. So is it time to put out just purely acoustic song with a guitar and voice? Maybe. We'll see. I'll know tomorrow better. But yeah, this gives you a bit of an idea of what goes on here in my little caravan studio. Hey buddy, you little hedgehog. Hey buddy, yeah, there's food for you. Too much. Yeah, c'est bon. Pas de problem. Okay, I can't put this off any longer. I gotta deal with this grass. Even that I don't have a lawnmower. The damn weed whacker it is. I let my heart be guided by a synchronicity in a world that seems divided. I wanna set you free. Alright. Welcome back to the caravan. This is day 2 working on Do What You Are. This song kind of came from I had, what do you call it, quantic scan. I never knew what it was before. I had one with a lovely lady, and it kind of goes into your, you know, higher self and all that sort of stuff. Whether you believe it or not, you don't have to. I'm not forcing anybody to do, but I've kind of learned to listen to my own intuition a little bit more. And sometimes it has different kind of ways of talking to you, so I appreciate what's coming through. And you know, talking about my path, and you know, because I'm definitely in a kind of transitions phase still, very much, because moving from Dublin, playing shows, you know, 7 days a week, and now I'm in the middle of France, and you know, even though that I can pursue the way of doing more live concerts, which I probably will to some certain extent along the way, but right now it's not my main focus at all. My main focus is kind of getting the house finished and getting this kind of my own brand and my own, you know, my solo career kind of somehow established in other ways than playing live to start off with, and a part of that has been, a big part of that has been the fact that I kind of had to go and rediscover how I enjoy making music, and you know. So when we're in that quantic scan, one of the messages that came through towards the end of it, we were talking about my career, was do what you are. Like you got this, you know what you're doing, and you know you have it all. So just do what you are, and it really resonated with me. And then I mentioned that somewhere along the line, and Dan, if you're watching, Dan said like, that sounds like a good title for a song, you know. So I suppose this is kind of hold my beer moment, you know. So I'm working on that, and as you know from the day before yesterday, I was talking to you about this same song. I had two versions of it, kind of more produced version, and now it's gone back to the basic one, and I really like the basic one. So today I'm working on that. I don't know if you can hear it. It's raining a lot, and I mean a lot. There's thunder comes along once in a while, and it rumbled there about 10 minutes ago, and I can actually feel the bottom of the caravan resonate. So even when I'm recording vocals here today, there will be a little bit of a background rain on the track, but the way the song is, it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I think it adds to it. It'd be an extra effect if you like that. But yeah, now I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to do with the rest of the track. Definitely going to be more stripped down, but I do like the thing is that I'm a big fan of just an acoustic guitar and voice, but I'm also very aware that it's not everybody is as comfortable as to do a lot of that. So I do like to kind of expand it, take it from, and if I'd even do version that is like an acoustic guitar and voice along the track, I would like to build it up somehow. So I'm going to work on the arrangement of that today. Hide from the rain, drink coffee. Yeah, and then not tomorrow but the day after we're heading on holidays to the southwest of France. So I would be very happy if I get this song done before that. I'll be kind of a little bit ahead of schedule once again. These are deadlines that I set for myself. They're not deadlines that nobody's putting a pressure on me except myself. But I work the best when there is that certain kind of pressure there. So if I get this song done, I'll be a very happy man. Anyway, onwards and upwards. A rainy day in the caravan studio. So the rain has stopped, and I actually have a track. It's one of those things, once I get back to the basics, I went deep, and it came out. Now, unfortunately, you guys won't hear this until probably about a month and a half from now or something like that, but yeah, I'm already looking forward to you guys hearing it. It feels good to get these things out of the system. Where are you hiding?